Did you know that over 60% of most drivers make simple mistakes that can wear out their automatic cars faster? You might be doing some of these without even knowing it. Today, I'll walk you through 10 things you should never do in an automatic car. And make sure to watch until the end, because I'll share a bonus tip that could save you a ton of money and help your car last way longer. Let's dive in. Tip number 1. Don't shift modes while your car is moving. Switching between modes, like from drive to reverse while your car is still moving, is a big no-no. Your transmission isn't designed to handle that kind of stress. When you do this, you create a mismatch between your car's speed and the gear engagement, which puts a lot of strain on the internal components, like the clutch packs and bands. This habit can also cause overheating of the transmission fluid, reducing its ability to lubricate and cool properly. Over time, this can lead to serious damage and expensive repairs. For safety, always come to a complete stop before changing modes. It's a simple step that protects your car and keeps you safe on the road. Number 2. Don't leave your car in neutral in traffic. Leaving your car in neutral while stopped in traffic might seem harmless, but it's actually a bad idea. When your car is in neutral, you lose engine braking, which means your brakes have to work harder to keep the car stationary. Over time, this extra strain can wear out your brake pads faster. And here's another issue. In an emergency, being in neutral makes it harder to react quickly. If you need to accelerate to avoid a hazard, the delay in shifting back to drive could cost you valuable seconds. For safety and efficiency, keep your car in drive and hold down the brake when stopped in traffic. Tip number 3. Don't drive on low gas. Driving with low gas might not seem like a big deal, but trust me, it's one of the worst things you can do to an automatic car. Here's why. Modern cars have an electric fuel pump that sits inside the gas tank. This pump needs gas to keep it cool and lubricated. When you drive with less than a quarter tank, the pump isn't fully submerged, which makes it overheat and wear out faster. And it gets worse. Over time, sediment collects at the bottom of your gas tank. When you're low on fuel, that debris gets pulled into the pump, which can clog your fuel filter, damage injectors, and mess with your engine's performance. Fixing these problems can cost you hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So do yourself a favor. Don't wait for the gas light to come on. Fill up before your tank gets too low. It'll save you a ton of money and headaches in the long run. Number 4. Don't coast in neutral. Coasting in neutral might sound like a fuel-saving hack, but it's actually a bad idea. Modern automatic transmissions are designed to stay in gear even when you're slowing down. When you shift to neutral, you disrupt the lubrication and hydraulic systems that keep your transmission running smoothly. Without proper lubrication, parts wear out faster, leading to expensive repairs. It's also a safety issue. In gear, your car benefits from engine braking, which helps slow it down naturally without overusing the brakes. In neutral, you lose that advantage, which can strain your brakes and increase the risk of failure, especially on long descents. And here's the kicker. Coasting in neutral doesn't save fuel. Modern cars automatically minimize fuel use when you take your foot off the accelerator, even in gear. So keep your car in drive and let the transmission do its job. Tip number 5. Avoid hard launches. Flooring the gas pedal from a complete stop might feel thrilling, but it's a surefire way to damage your car. Unlike manual cars, automatic transmissions aren't designed to handle sudden bursts of power. Hard launches put extreme stress on your torque converter, gears, and drivetrain, causing overheating and premature wear. Even your transmission fluid, which is vital for cooling and lubrication, can break down faster under these conditions. Over time, this can lead to slipping gears, overheating, and complete transmission failure. So, instead of flooring it, accelerate gradually. Your car and your wallet will thank you. Number 6. Avoid letting water into the transmission. Driving through deep water might seem fun, but it's a gamble you don't want to take with your automatic car. The transmission is a sealed system, but if water gets in, it can mix with the transmission fluid and create a corrosive mess. This contamination ruins the fluid's ability to cool and lubricate, leading to overheating, friction, and damage to critical parts like gears and clutches. Water can also cause rust inside the transmission, shortening its lifespan. To avoid these problems, steer clear of deep water, especially during floods. If you suspect water has gotten into your transmission, have it checked by a professional right away. Tip number 7. Always use the emergency brake. Skipping the emergency brake might not seem like a big deal, especially on flat ground, but it's an important step to protect your car. When you put your car in park, the transmission locks the wheels with a small metal piece. Without the emergency brake, all the weight of your car rests on that tiny part, which can cause it to wear out or break over time, especially on a hill. Using the emergency brake takes the pressure off the transmission and adds an extra layer of safety. If the parking pal fails or your car gets bumped, the emergency brake keeps it from rolling. Make it a habit to use the emergency brake every time you park, no matter where you are. Number 8. Don't switch to park while moving. Switching to park while your car is still rolling is a mistake that can do serious damage. When you shift into park, a small metal component called the parking pal locks your transmission to prevent the wheels from turning. If your car is moving, this piece is forced to engage against rotating parts, which can cause it to break or become misaligned. If the parking pal gets damaged, your car might not stay securely parked, which is a major safety risk. Repairs can also be costly and time-consuming, so always wait until your car is completely stopped before putting it in park. Tip number 9. Don't rest your hand on the gear stick. It might feel natural to rest your hand on the gear stick, but this habit can cause problems. The gear stick is connected to delicate components inside the transmission, and constant pressure can lead to misalignments or wear over time. Plus, it's just not safe. You should always keep both hands on the wheel for better control and quicker reactions. So, once you've shifted gears, take your hand off the stick and focus on the road. Number 10. Warm up your engine. Jumping into your car and driving off right away, especially in cold weather, can harm your engine and transmission. When the engine is cold, the oil is thicker and hasn't had time to circulate fully. This lack of lubrication increases wear on critical components. For automatic cars, it's even more important because the transmission fluid also needs time to warm up. Driving with cold fluid can lead to rough shifts, delayed acceleration, and long-term damage. So, take 30 seconds to a minute to let your car warm up before driving. It's a small habit that can save you big in the long run. If you've made it this far, here's one last bonus tip just for you, because your car deserves the extra love. Bonus tip. Don't ignore strange noises. If your car starts making unusual noises like clunks, hums, or whining sounds, don't brush it off. These sounds are often early warning signs of issues in your transmission or other vital components. Ignoring them can lead to bigger problems and expensive repairs down the line. For example, a whining sound could mean low transmission fluid, while clunking noises during shifts might indicate worn-out parts inside the transmission. Addressing these issues early can save you a fortune and keep your car running smoothly. So, if your car doesn't sound quite right, get it checked out sooner rather than later. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Taking care of your automatic car doesn't have to be complicated. Just avoid these common mistakes, and you'll save yourself a lot of stress, money, and time. By treating your car with care and staying on top of small habits, you can enjoy a smoother ride and a longer-lasting vehicle. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share these tips with other drivers who might need them.